Cool.
And the guy checked, bro, the left.
That's fine, bro. Whoever joins it later on, etc., we'll just do it from there. Okay, cool. So let's make a start, yeah? First of all, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, whatever the etc. are, because obviously I'm fresh myself as well. I don't really know 100% of the languages also. But at the same time, I'm trying to teach so that I can make sure that I have, I can maintain my own memory as well. And I can also like try explaining it, see where the flaws are as well. So last week, for example, we did a lesson with Dizan, and there's a few words I didn't understand them. Why? Intuitively I understood them, but I didn't understand the reason why we should actually, say some things in a certain way, etc. So, but yeah, that's it. So in terms of the class itself, there's no formal structure. There's not like any specific book we're going to go to or anything specific that we're going to do. But a lot of it is going to be down to like free flowing, and we're just going to base it off like that. Yeah. Cool, bro. Any questions?
So it's a bit, your face is not in it.
Is it? You could.
I zoomed you
You,
out.
you can close. You can zoom out. Yeah, wicked. That's fine. Cool. Any question from anyone? That's fine. So what we're going to do today, yeah, is we'll just do a recap of last week. We'll just go over like that instead. So there's a book called Bayna Yadayk. I went through with that with Nizam last time. With that, in the beginning, what happens? People just meet each other, and it's just like a normal greeting, etc., like a first interaction, right? Basic stuff. Kayfa haluk, yeah. How are you? Where you from? What do you do? All this kind of stuff. So that's basically what we're going to do. So in the beginning, the interaction is going to be كيف حالك, yeah. So, and then what we'll do is we'll break those words down into further pieces of finding out how we utilize that same word for different sentences and how we can put it into different places, yeah. Yeah, just open it whoever knocks, bro. That's good enough. So initially, we're gonna start with the word كيف حالك, yeah. So كيف, yeah. كيف, yeah, and then ha, look. Okay, cool. So this is gonna be كيف حالك, yeah. So the word كيف is literally, it just means how. That's it. It just means how, right? Hal here would mean the state, and the kaf at the end of it refers to the person that I'm talking to, yeah. So when I say how are you, that you here is literally that, yeah. This one here is the state, and this is the how. That's literally all it is. Cool. That's the breakdown of the three words, yeah. So what I like to personally do myself is I like to use the same words as many times as possible, so it gives you like a better idea of how to utilize the same word, yeah. So what we'll do, we'll break down or have a few more sentences to do with kaifa instead, and then we'll keep breaking it down further and further, having different words with that. Any new words that come out of those sentences will produce lots and lots of sentences with those as well. So what my expectation would be, right, is we'll get these words, and then when you go home, just repeat those sentences again and again and again. And then what will happen is when you're doing kaifa in so many different sentences, it's going to become very intuitive to you. It's going to become like it's inside your head, right? It's going to feel like it's a word that you can constantly use again and again. So like, let's say, for example, every day, yeah, you're learning, let's say, English or something. If I keep telling you the word how, right? How are you? How did you do that? How many people came to the class? How many cups do you have? If I keep saying how the whole day, right, you're going to eventually figure out what that word means, and you're going to be able to better utilize it every single time as well. Cool. So how are you, right? Now what we'll do is we'll do how did you do that? Yeah. Oh, how did you do this? So that's kaifa. Yeah. فعلت هذا. Okay. كيف فعلت هذا. So sometimes, by the way, my spellings are going to be out of place, yeah, so just bear with them. I'm not 100% certain on all the spellings, etc. Sometimes, though, should be fine. Cool. كيف فعلت هذا. Yeah. Okay, so now we're utilizing the word كيف again for the second time, right? So here it's going to be again how. So فعلت is did, yeah? Did you, yeah? So there's an it's going to be a you here, which is a ta, yeah? So that ta here is a you. فعلت فعل is the way of saying did, right? In the past tense. هذا is this. So in Arabic, obviously, it'll be the opposite way around, right? So we normally say, how did you do that? Actually, it's very similar. So how, again, from the top, kaifa kaifa. The new word that we learned here now is fa'alta, yeah? Which means did. And hada is this, right?
I've got a quick question.
Of course, go for it, bro.
In many surahs,
Yeah.
it says Alam tara kayfa fa'ala.
Yeah.
So in that case, it means dealt in it.
That's more so dealt, yeah, from my understanding of it, yeah. My understanding of it
And
is
so in
dealt.
this case, the ta
Yep.
also makes it past tense, or is it more to? Is the ta to make it past tense, or is the ta to refer to a person?
That's to you.
Person, though.
Yeah. But it's also past tense at the same time. That word itself, fa'ala, is past tense already.
Okay.
That word.
Hence dealt is past.
Yeah.
It's also past.
Correct. Yeah. Fa'ala, yeah. Fa'ala would be past tense. The ta at the end is referring to you. That's a masculine you, yeah. That's referring to a masculine you. And hada here would be this. So that would be that. Is that right? Any other questions from anyone else?
But in the surah fa'ala, it doesn't have the ta in it.
Okay, كيف فعل. Okay, so that
Even though it's still talking about the past as well. Though.
that because that's referring to. It's not saying how did you do it. It's referring to كيف فعل. How did he do it?
Yes,
So when, for example, if there's no ta there, yeah, and it's just fa'ala, that would be referring to how he did it. Yeah. So these ones here, yeah, in terms of the breaking them down, we can do that as well today later on as well. That'd be actually a really good one to do. So at the moment, there's no obviously formal structure to the class, but eventually, as we're going along the class, we kind of figure out any sort of way, whatever I think would be beneficial, etc. We can later on go through a class maybe as well, or we can go through whatever I think is appropriate. I need to put a mask on, really making me laugh. It's unnecessary. Alright, cool. That's fine. كيف فعلت هذا? Okay. Okay, so we'll do كيف ذهبت, yeah? How did you go? كيف ذهبت? Okay, cool. So it's the same word again, how. So كيف ذهب hold up, bro. Malfunction. ذهب كيف ذهبت هناك بكسر هناك يا هناك. Okay, cool. So this kaifa here, yeah, is exactly the same thing again. It's how. Same. Just one more thing. These sentences, etc., that we make here, I definitely recommend getting flashcards out of it as well. Making your own flashcards, double-sided ones, all that kind of stuff. Anki is really good because it spaces the repetition out. So, for example, if you're really good at kaifa, it won't keep bringing it to the front of your mind again. It'll push it to the back, right? But if there's a different word like the habta you're struggling with, for example, it'll bring it to the front of your mind so that you can deal with that word more frequently instead. That's how it tends to work. So,
Did you say you mentioned the name? Was that an app?
Anki, A-K-N-I, yeah.
Is that an app?
It's an app, yeah, Anki.
It's iPhone only though, I think.
Is it removed from Android now?
Unless only if you have an old version of Android.
If you got old one, okay.
Then it'll work, but they
Yeah.
don't have
There'll
an
probably be an alternative.
Yeah, to be honest, there's so many alternatives. I just like Anki personally because the settings are quite cool because you can set it that, look, if I get it right, remind me after 2 days. If I get it right again after 4, 8, 12, 16, it just keeps going up and up and up. So it works out quite good because anything you're very good at, what you're familiar with, it doesn't keep bringing it up again and again. But let's say, for example, like you struggle with that word again and again, you tell it, look, this was hard for me. It'll remind you more frequently until it becomes really well embedded inside your memory, and then it pushes you, forward on, etc. Okay, dhahaba, yeah. Okay, dhahaba is go, yeah. Go or went or whatever, etc. Kifa dhahabta. So it's dhahabta huna here would mean went. So how or went, whatever. How did you go there, yeah? Hunaka is there.
And the car refers to you.
Okay, so in Hunaka it actually doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on this one, yeah. So this particular one, it wouldn't be. So you know how you got kif halu ka? So that ka there is actually referring to you, like how are you?
So in haluka, hal means state.
Halu state.
Ka is the you. But in
Exactly,
hunaka,
like that, yeah.
in hunaka, that's just the whole word. Isn't it?
That's just the word itself, yeah. That's just literally just a word. So hal here is a word, ka here is a word. So for example, if I say to someone, kitabu ka, it's your book, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
baytuka is like your, possessive, yeah, it's your house, yeah.
So
Correct.
hunaka is
Yeah.
like ba'id is far, and then huna, would that be like
Huna is
the
here, yeah,
close
huna.
Qari version of it?
Huna is here, yeah. And hunaka is there.
Okay, and so you're saying hunaka is like asl part of the word. Is
The kaf is the original, yeah.
part of the
It's
original
part of the actual word, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've heard the word zahaba though. What does, I know zahabta means, you've mentioned go, went. What does zahaba mean?
Okay, so dhahaba, yeah. Okay, so that word there is a word, and a ta is another word. What we'll do after this, yeah, once we've done a few kayfas, etc. If you want, we can carry on doing some more. We can do fa'ala, we can do dhahaba in different sentences. Because what we've done so far, right, is we produced 1, 2, 3 sentences, right, of how. We can do some more how sentences, or what we can do is we can produce 3 more sentences, one of these, etc. Even when we're producing sentences with these, right, these words might get repeated again, so it's still good, because the more sentences you can make out of these words, right, the same words again and again, the more intuitive the word will become to yourself. So it'll feel like a word that you can actually utilize.
So how do you translate that? Even that sentence, that jumla, how do you say that?
Okay, so if you were to literally say, you'd say, how went there?
How did you go there?
How went you there? Yeah. But what you're trying to say is, how did you go there? Yeah.
To go.
Yeah. The word did, you don't really say it. Was it also the word is doesn't exist in Arabic.
Inferred in, I guess.
Yeah, it's just, you should just, yeah, it is what it is. Okay, كيف ذهبت هناك? So the good words, well, all of them are good, right? Because it's the first time you're doing them. I'll repeat it again. Hal is the state. Fa'ala is he did. And when you say fa'alta, it's you did, right? So that's fa'ala. Like similar to Surah Fil, لم ترى كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل. But that's more so like how he kind of dealt with them. That's from my understanding most of the meaning of it there. I can't think of any other examples from there. Cool. كيف ذهبت? Okay, so here, yeah, ذهبت. I'll give you an example of this that occurs in the Quran. So it's the same word, but it's the command tense instead. اذهب. اذهب إلى فرعون. Yeah, so go to Pharaoh. Yeah. So in Arabic you also have like single, dual, and plural, right? So you can say go, 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 but you can say it in 3 different ways. But in English it don't make no sense, right? But in Arabic it would be idhab,